Hey, what's up, everybody? Moses here. Day 6 recap of the Betrayal League. Massive things happened. First and foremost, a Loreweave. So, Loreweave is just an insane body armor. It gives us the crit chance. We rolled with. Okay, so it took us about 40 fusings to link, 2 exalts to buy, 650 chromatic orbs to color, and about 4 or 5 divine orbs to get this roll. So we got off very, very cheap, especially the fusing part, right? But overall, I say in total exalts, I believe it was somewhere around, I don't know, maybe 4.5 total, how much I paid for it, if you price it in exalts, something like this. So extremely cheap for this particular chest with this particular roll at this particular time of the league. Alright, so we're pretty happy about it. And then I figured I got the Loreweave, let's figure out the rest of the gear and seal it for now, at least for now. So the rest of the gears, I did swap my boots, so I found these for about 40C, I think, or something like that, 40 or 50C. The 30 movement speed, the life, the resist, that's all. And then I went and did lab, and we got the boots enchant, which is pretty sweet. Not the best one. Obviously the best one would be the lightning penetration if you haven't killed or crit recently or whatever. But we didn't get that one, and this is just as good, almost just as good. And yeah, so we're happy about that. It's actually a pretty massive DPS increase, about 3k. Just to have that. Of course, it also gives us dexterity, so we can't equip it without actually using it. Kind of weird. Yeah, so about 3k DPS, pretty sweet. Outside of that, we got a new helmet with some more life than what we had before, but just to allow us to balance our resistances, and because I needed to transfer the location of the 4 links that I had, and pure evasion would be a pain to get 4 off colors, in this current time. So I got myself a pure armor to get the right colors with the cast on damage taken here. So this is our 4 link right now. And we moved the lightning spire that used to be in the energy shield boots. We use them now in the gloves, which are armor energy shield. So we got a new pair of gloves as well, with the life, with the resist, with the mana, so pretty sweet. Only crafted life, but it's what it is for now. And we got our lightning spire set up over here. So we kind of shifted and moved some things around. Here I'm just leveling a spell cascade because I figured we might use it for next build. Increased duration should be actually flipped. Let's do it right now with you guys. So you sell a level 20 gem with 1 GCP, you get a level 1 gem with 20 quality, right? And then you get the 20% increased quality. So 2020 should have like 75% increased skill effect duration or so. And there we go. This is going to affect both our phase run and our bear trap, which means it's going to slow the monsters for currently 55% more in the skill effect duration. So it's pretty nice. Pretty nice to have this type of 3 link over here. This is just a gem that we're leveling up for more, for more currency. Alright, so this is when it comes to the gear. We did kill Uber Elder for the first time. He dropped, of course, a shitty jewel, but at least he dropped a jewel and the Mark of the Elder. Total, I think it was Mark of the Elder was like 20C, kind of sad, and because Mark of the Shaper is like 2 exalts, big difference, and the jewel was just something garbage. I sold this for 65C, so rip. But hey, at least we got it down. Our Atlas bonus is completed. We finished all the unique maps, every single unique map. We crafted Val Temple map, which is something you do by valing tier 15 rare maps. So you maximum chisel them, you alchemy them, and then you just val them. And when you do that, there's a chance to get Val Temple. There's also a chance to get a +1, which means it's going to turn into a corrupted tier 16 Guardian maps. And there's a chance it's going to turn on AD. There's a chance that there's nothing going to happen. So it took me 8 maps, and I got it on the 8th one. Right now, this used to be an extremely difficult map. Right now, it's kind of a joke for a build like mine. It's kind of a shame because I remember first time I entered it, the good memories of getting wrecked by the trio. I'll leave it to you guys to give it a shot. Alright. So now we're going to go to the core of the video. The things I want to talk about with you today are comparisons between, if you can call it that, between these three chests. Okay, so first, I want to talk about like the build itself. What it requires is basically nothing. Life and resist. I keep saying that. Life and resist, life and resist. Get that thing going for you. High pull of life, high pull of mana for survivability with mind over matter. Cap your resistances at 75 and you will be just fine. Okay, everything on top of that is seriously a bonus. 6 link, bonus. 4 traps instead of 3, bonus. Loreweave, bonus. Tinkerskin, bonus. Everything other than that is just a bonus because the build itself can seriously clear all content. Alright, so people come to me and they tell me, oh Moses, I just finished all my fusing, trying to 6 link my Tinkerskin, rip. I'm like, oh no, why would you ever do that? Tinkerskin is kind of garbage. Why? Oh, why? So let's talk about this. Let's compare between these two. And let's talk about basically when you first start out, the content that you're going to be needing to clear is tier 1, you know, to tier 10 maps, right? It's going to take you a few days to clear all the roughly 100 white and yellow maps on your atlas. Right? 2 days. In these 2 days, while you're clearing, there's about 100 maps here that you're going to have to do. You're going to be dropping a ton of stuff. You're going to be dropping currencies like, you know, chromes, chromatic items. You're going to vendor, jeweler items with 6 sockets. You're going to vendor. You're going to get jewelers. You're going to get fusings, chromes, scours, regrets, alchemies. Maybe an exalt here or there. Maybe a few chaos. Maybe a divine, alterations from your rare items. You know, that you're identifying. It's going to give you the alteration orbs. All this currency is going to pile up, and then you go to PoE trade and you turn it into exalts, or you turn it into chaos, or you turn it into whatever it is that you need. I recommend what you should be doing, what I did personally. I got myself a rare chest. I didn't even use a tabula this league. Okay, I didn't even use it. It's a fair choice. Like, you can buy it for 15, 20 chaos, awesome, and then just use it. And it will serve you all the way up to tier 16, and even if you're very familiar with the build, you can clear tier 16 guardians with this, and, you know, you'll do just fine. Obviously, any other chest will be better with some stats, because survivability matters, but even with a tabula, if you have yourself a tabula, you should be just fine clearing all the guardians, Shaper, even Uber Elder. You know, all is possible if you're familiar with the fight mechanic. But for the regular normal content, tabula is going to be enough all the way through your red maps for a normal player. Alright, so this is what I want to get through here. You can use your tabula and balance your resistances without it, you know, as if the chest doesn't matter. Always consider that, because your end goal is to have a Loreweave. A Loreweave increases your maximum resistances to 80, but it doesn't give you resistances. Okay, so the Loreweave itself doesn't have resists. So always treat your gear slot, your chest slot, as if it doesn't exist in terms of resistances. Try and rely on resistances to get them elsewhere, so that when the time comes and you do have a Loreweave, you're not going to have a problem. You can just switch one slot and you're good to go. That's just kind of like a general tip, but, you know, something you should think about maybe. So use yourself a rare chest with 4 link. It's going to be perfectly fine. It's going to be enough. Now, people use Tinkerskin. Sometimes they drop, and I remember even in the Soul Cellphone League, I could use it. You know, I used it myself in the Soul Cellphone League because I found one, and, you know, it just happened. I used the Jeweler's Touch Prophecy, and I had a 5 link Tinkerskin, and I was like, awesome, great. What it does, it allows us to use Eldritch Battery with the, you know, investment of 2 points, Eldritch Battery, and what it does, Eldritch Battery, is basically spend energy shield before mana for skill costs. So your energy shield is going to protect your mana, and you're going to be spending your energy shield to cast your spells instead of mana. Basically, that's it. And the way that it works is that you get that energy shield, and Tinkerskin recovers energy shield whenever your trap is triggered. So when you throw multiple traps, each one of them gives you 50 energy shield, hence allowing you to basically run without a mana flask. Or you still need your mana because you're going to get, you know, hit and mind over matter, right? So you're still going to need to replenish your mana. It just allows you to not worry about running out of mana, so you won't have to spam your skills, right? So you can always use your arcs. That's the point of this chest. Cooldown recovery is completely irrelevant for Arc Trapper. 75 to maximum life is nice. It runs 60 to 80 or 60 to 90. Nice. Evasion energy shield, nice. That's it. You know, phasing is irrelevant because, well, we use phase run and phasing is not really doing anything. Let's be honest. It's a nice buff to have, but it's not like game breaking or gameplay changing or altering experience. It's going to make your trapper mind blowing. No, it's just, you know, allowing you to be moving through monsters and you know, you're not blocked by enemies, and that's it. And we have phase run, which allows us to do just that anyways, so kind of useless to have. And on top, the chance to get the frenzy charges. Frenzy charges adds more damage per frenzy charge, but we're also getting it already from Master Sapper. So again, kind of useless. Alright, so it's a kind of garbage chest, let's be honest, but if you happen to have one, use it, invest 2 points here, and you're set until you have a Loreweave. Don't treat this as if it was the best in slot. I've heard some guys, and you know, I heard some guys tell me they saw it in guides and videos that they watched. I don't want to trash anybody. Tinkerskin is pretty garbage. If you play the game, you know it. I don't know why would anyone say that this is best in slot when Loreweave exists in the game, and even a rare chest would be miles ahead than a Loreweave in some cases, than a Tinkerskin in some cases. So I don't know why anyone would say that. I don't know what you guys be watching. All I know is my own content, and I can vouch for my own content. Okay, so Tinkerskin, pretty garbage, but if you have it, it's going to be better than Tabula, sure. So, you know, it's going to give you the life, it's going to give you the recovery. It's kind of tanky, so it feels good, and if you're a new player to the game, it's going to help you out. But it's by far not best in slot. It's pretty garbage chest overall. It doesn't give us any damage at all, right? It's just cooldown for traps, and we don't max cooldown for our traps. We use spammable traps, right? So it's useless for us. There it is. So that was Tinkerskin versus Loreweave. Nothing really to compare, and don't waste your cash on that. It's gonna be a pretty big shame. I actually had to pay 12 chaos for this garbage chest, and we're gonna sell it right away, just for the video. Alright, so now let's talk about weapons. I want you to look at this dagger. A lot of people talk about, why don't you use the dagger, Moses? They have crit. They tell me that daggers are best for trappers. Let's talk about that, okay? Daggers are not best for trappers. What's best for a trapper is what increases your tooltip DPS. Not any dagger is going to be better than any scepter or going to be better than any wand, right? You want spell stats on your weapon. Currently, my weapon is pretty trash, but it does give me 108 total spell damage, 87 crit chance for spell, and a tier 1 kind of lightning, you know, flat lightning damage to attacks. So this is a pretty solid starting wand. It's gonna get better throughout the league, but for now, I killed Uber Elder with this weapon. There it is, okay? Just did. This is my weapon. I have Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, and faster casting over here, and that's all you need, right? For a movement skill, this is what I use. So this is the wand. If I try to sell a period trade right now, it's probably going to be some like 25-30 C, not more than that. It's nothing too fancy, and I kill Uber Elder with it with ease. Okay, the DPS is insane. Mostly the DPS comes from your gear, from your passive skill tree, from your ascendancy. Weapon is just a bonus on top, right? You know, your Essence Worm, your Clear Mind, all those things are massive for your increase of DPS overall. The additional trap, great. The weapon, sure, you can stick some stats on it, great, but it's not going to, again, make it so that your character is going to be invincible or anything. Having some spell is just fine for something to start with. Now, daggers are like the best possible dagger for your build. Might as well be the better slightly than the best imbued wand. Like if you take a dagger with the same stats and you compare the crit versus the spell damage, maybe the extra 50%, this is a 40% one, but there's 50% ones, maybe 50% extra crit is going to be better overall than the 40 whatever you can roll for spell damage. Maybe, I'm not sure, but this is irrelevant. The implicit roll is irrelevant. Okay, so what matters are the explicit rolls. And let's talk about some of the explicit rolls, because I'm getting some whispers about daggers like this that people tell me, this is insane for my build. Okay, so it's not. Okay, this is in fact a pretty trash dagger for a trapper. This dagger, and I wanted to make sure to make the difference for you to tell between spells and attacks. Okay, so we have here adds lightning damage, adds fire damage to spells, increase critical chance, and adds fire damage, right? So the add fire damage, add lightning damage will add fire and lightning damage to attacks. If you're going to attach an attack skill over here and you're going to use it, your auto attack right now with this dagger is going to have the fire damage and the lightning damage. Right, of course I have some increased lightning damage and elemental damage and all that stuff, so the damage here is not exactly what it says on the weapon because I have some increases, but the flat lightning damage and the flat fire damage here are two attacks. Okay, this is an auto attack. When you attack with your when you attack physical attacking with your weapon, enemies will take that elemental hit. This will not affect spells at all. Alright, what will affect spells is when it says fire damage to spells. Right, that 22 to 39 fire damage to spells will then be added to spells. So make that distinction. Also, the implicit roll, it says 40% increased global crit chance, and the dagger itself has an increased crit chance roll. Right, the 36%. The increased crit chance roll is going to affect the weapon crit chance. If you see, the weapon has 8.84% critical strike chance. That's the base critical strike chance of the weapon. Right? So this is being affected right now. The reason why it's 884 is because of that 36% crit chance. A normal dagger, I believe, has 7%. So 36% crit chance affects that. It does not affect spells. What does affect spells is the 44% increased critical strike chance for spells that I crafted here for the sake of the video. Okay? So make sure you know the distinction. If it doesn't say for spells, it's for attacks. That's all. If it's lightning damage for spells, then when you use this weapon, it's going to add the lightning damage for spells. So your spells are going to get bonus lightning damage. If it's cold damage for spells, if it's fire damage for spells, see, it says so. These stats exist: fire damage for spells, cold damage for spells, while holding a shield. I have on my belt right now, on this hypnotic eye jewel right here, right? So make sure you know and understand the difference. And on top, if it says global crit chance, which global means spells and attacks. If it says 4 spells, it's 4 spells. If it says increased crit chance, it's only for attacks. If it doesn't say the word global, it's only for attacks. So if you guys are new to the game, make sure to understand these type of stats and what they mean and what will they affect when it comes to stats, skills, and all that kind of stuff. It was important for me to talk about it, and I believe I've talked too much. So let's get to the stream. Hope to see you guys there. And thank you very much for watching. Much love.